Good morning, Kentucky. Happy Monday and welcome to yet another Food Connection demonstration. We are super excited that you've joined us today because we have another guest chef. We're doing it again. It was when Brian baked his bread. Everybody loved it so much. We wanted to bring more guest chefs in. And this is kind of echoing what we would normally do if we had a normal class schedule in the Food Connection kitchen. So we are super excited today to be joined by Phillip and Tonya Cronin of Kismet. If you are familiar with them, then you know what kind of great elevated snack foods that they've been preparing and serving out at the Burl. And we're going to bring Phillip and Tonya in and talk to them just for a moment. And then, hello, Phillip and Tonya. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Oh, I've got you. There we go.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning. So tell us about Kismet because we are also very excited.
Yeah, so Kismet is a pop-up adventure me and my wife started because we really enjoyed cooking with each other. Probably about 3 years ago when we moved back to Lexington, we really wanted to kind of just have a little fun in the kitchen together and make a couple snacks for our friends. And then it took off into this other adventure here down at the Burl when we partnered up with the guys down here at the Burl Arcade and the Burl Music Venue, and where we could provide snacks for people 5 days a week. So it's just a fun thing me and my wife like to do. We love to cook together, and yeah.
Well, I know Tonya, I've been able to sample your steamed buns through Feast. They were absolutely amazing. You have featured those on the menu too, right?
Yes, we do. They're actually Phillip's steamed buns, and then I got to do that bulgogi for you guys at Feast.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty good partnership right here.
Yeah.
And then I noticed you buy from the farmers market a lot of times, like you did the tomato tart. So you're featuring local foods in what you're preparing as well?
Yes. Phillip and I like to go to the farmers market as often as we can and feature our local farmers whenever possible.
Yeah.
I know Josh was bragging on what you're going to fix today, and we're super excited about that. So you are going to tell us what you're going to prepare for us today.
Today we're going to do our sweet potato donut that we have featured on the menu right now. It's made out of sweet potato puree. We top it with caramel and macerated berries and whipped cream.
Oh my gosh, sounds amazing. Okay, well, if you guys are ready, I'll switch over to you. And if we have any questions, we'll pop back in, okay?
Okay.
All right.
This is Kismet here. What the design of this restaurant is, you can walk up to the concession style window, and inside this little 190 square feet is where all the magic happens. We got Tonya in here right now. She's how do I flip the camera around? I don't know. But she's in here right now. We're making dough. If you want to walk through your dough.
So right now, I have all of my ingredients mixed out. You've got your flour, baking soda or baking powder, sugar, yeast, buttermilk powder, and little TV magic. We have some dough going. So you're going to want to mix all your dry ingredients together, except for your yeast. We're going to let that bloom with your milk. And my secret is that I add a little bit of sugar in my milk to help feed that yeast. And right here, you're going to add all your flour, dries, and then top it with your sweet potato puree. Mix that with your eggs. And then once your yeast is bloomed, you're going to add that also to your dough and let that all go at once. The only thing you're going to keep out is your butter, and we're going to add that last. So.
Fantastic. You want to...
Let's go. So this is the first go round. Our dough's a little bit loose. It's still a little tacky in there. So if you see that, we're just going to add a little bit more flour to help that come off the sides of the pan or the bowl. bit at a time. You can always add in, but you can't really ever take out of it. So we're gonna let that go a little bit longer.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes, we can hear you fine. So that batch right there, how many donuts would that make?
How many donuts will that make?
This one will probably make 24. And
Okay, all right.
it's 2 pounds of flour and 2 ounces. 2 pounds, 2 ounces of flour.
Okay.
We get about 24 donuts. And that's
Excellent. Absolutely. The one that Tonya and Phillip have shared the recipe with us, we're going to scale that down just a little bit so that you don't have to make 24 donuts at one time, although you may want to once you try them.
Yeah, they're so good. You're going to want to make 24, in my opinion.
Share a couple.
Do you want me to clean this up for you?
Oh, no.
Okay, while Tanya's working on that, I'm going to work on the macerated berries that go on top. So I'm going to try to do this by holding up the camera here. So, small mixing bowl. I have some blackberries here, and I cut a few up. I cut a few in half, and then I kept some whole, just to kind of give them, different sizes and shapes. Put that in a mixing bowl. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar, just a little bit of granulated sugar. Put about a tablespoon in there. Mix that up real good. And then I'm going to take a lime and a zester, a microplane. Get a few zests of lime. And I'm also going to take a lemon. Get these nice zests of lime. Put them in the bowl with the berries. And take a little bit of juice from each of those lime and lemon. And then I'm going to kind of just let that sit. And then my secret kind of thing I like to put in here is just a little bit of mint from our garden. And that kind of makes the whole sweet potato donut, berries, and everything really, really great. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. And then I'm going to make whipped cream. So everyone uses a lot of powdered sugars in their heavy cream. I find that powdered sugar deflates your heavy cream, so I use granulated sugar, and I add it in a little bit at a time. So you can do this in a mixer, but if you have enough velocity, you can really get this going in no time. How do you guys do your whipped creams at home?
Yeah, post in the comments how you do it. Do you make your own whipped cream first of all? And no shame if not, but share what you love. I know my family and my mom's watching. We used a lot of Cool Whip when I was growing up. So so if that's what you do, please post that. Phillip, you're using an awful big bowl there. Can you talk to us about why you're using such a great big bowl while you whip?
Because if you see that I kind of have it all tilted down into the kind of corner of it, and so I can kind of use a motion like this in the corner to really create big air pockets inside of the cream, and that's what you're doing. You're whipping air into your cream, and then it's expanding. So I hold it to the side, use the big bowl, and it's already getting there.
And you really develop your arm strength.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go back to you.
So if you look at it already, it's already whipped cream. And then I'm gonna put about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and I'm gonna finish it out all the way. So I used a cup of heavy cream and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And then whipped cream. Super easy to make at home. We make our own whipped cream because we have a lot of cream already in house for other things that we make. So it's just easier for us to whip cream rather than buy it. So Tanya's finishing out rolling the dough right now. Do you want to show us how to punch one out?
This is still the dough now.
Do you want to show us how to punch one out over there? Okay.
So this is your dough after you've added that little bit of flour. It's came off the bowl, and that's what we're looking for. And usually, like when you're at home, you're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes and let that gluten relax. But we're gonna keep going with it for today. But this is what you're looking for. You just want it to come off the bowl, and then you're gonna add your butter into it.
Butter makes everything better.
I'm just gonna put that straight in there. And it's going to look as though it's separating on you, like your butter's not quite working in there, but just be patient. It finds its way.
Would you say it's similar to brioche?
Yes, it is like a brioche dough, but the sweet potato puree is your moisture or your hydration, along with the milk.
So, a little backstory on this sweet potato donut. We had this donut in DC, and they added a potato to their donut, and it was something that I had and Tonya had, and we were like, we just have to make that again. And so that was pretty fun, and we recreated it and added our own special things to it, like the whipped cream and the macerated berries.
I'm sure that's one of the favorite things that people. I'm sure you sell out when you're operating. That must be one of the menu favorites. Is the donut.
Yeah. All right.
And so I just wanted you guys to see this. So my butter and my dough aren't together, and you're gonna see that every time you make this, and that's okay. You're just gonna let it keep going. It's discouraging to see that and you get worried, but when the dough starts warming up due to the friction, that butter will start to melt and come into the dough. The fan went off. So they will all come together. So if you can see, it's starting to come in there. And if you need to, you can bump up your mixer to go a little bit faster. Whew. When am I going to see you, Tonya?
Okay, let me get my mic on. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming out there really soon. I'm still being real careful about coming out. But certainly, yeah, some weekend when I'm feeling confident about coming outside, I will certainly make an order. I had hoped to when you first opened. But my timing just did not work out to put in an order and come by. But certainly, very soon,
This all settles down soon.
Yes. So I want to just go over. You guys are open Wednesday through Sunday, right?
And Sunday is going to be our first brunch.
Oh, you're doing brunch now too. Well, that sweet potato donut would be a great bunch.
So hopefully, that works out for us. But you don't want to do that one? Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm going to send it back to you.
So our dough is starting to come together.
Looks great.
You see there's like no more butter. It's just like coming on the dough, and you're just going to let that keep going until it all gets in there.
So after the dough is mixed, how long do you let it proof for?
Until it doubles in size. So it depends on how, like, usually in our kitchen in here in Kismet, it's like maybe an hour because it's so warm and that's a small kitchen that we have.
Right, it gets very hot in here.
But usually about an hour or two, and then it's ready for you. And then, so this is good.
Okay, we do have a question from the audience. In addition to the donuts, what other kind of brunch items are you working on for brunch on Sunday?
Well, so we talked about doing a brunch here, and me and Tonya she actually made this fantastic cinnamon roll, which is like the size of your head. It's
awesome.
So awesome. So, we decided that it would look cool just like to come and get a big cinnamon roll with like it had pecan sticky toffee on top. And then we were going to do like great biscuits, a great biscuit and gravy. We are going to do a burger with on a donut possibly.
Oh, wow.
And then what else did we decide to do, Tonya? Breakfast burrito, and then
yum.
And then a potato hash. So
lovely.
It seems heavy, but it'll all be small portions except the giant cinnamon roll. But everything will be snack size like we always do. Just something that you can come down and get a little bite to eat, and just kind of walk the Burl area, maybe play an arcade, and stay safe down here.
That sounds like a perfect Sunday. Go split a cinnamon roll and then go play some video games. Some old style video games, or some skee ball or something.
Exactly, and especially with this whole development going on down here with the Legacy Trail opening, walking down through the Burl, and we just have to fight through this pandemic and stay safe, and yeah, if everybody stays safe, we can have fun later.
Absolutely. All right, sending it back to you.
So this is our dough. It just came out of the mixer. Our butter is all worked in, and that's when you want to pull it out.
That was awesome.
Nice elasticity to it. So this is when you want to let it proof. Put it in a well-greased container. Make sure that's covered up.
You want it well greased because when you put it in there, the dough will rise, and you don't want it sticking to the sides.
So you would leave that for about an hour or two. And we actually have some dough that's ready. So this is how we would roll it out. I like a nice, big, fat donut, so I don't like to go too thin on it. And you want to make sure it's well floured on your work surface and on the dough. I know that people say, like, for some doughs not to add too much flour when you're rolling it because it just adds more gluten. But this dough behaves very well, so you can get away with it. And to help with the stretch when you cut it and it doesn't shrink back, you just like keep rolling it out a little bit thinner than you would want it, and then kind of fluff it. Until you see it start drooping on you, and then you know that it's kind of where you want it.
Drooping, what does that mean, Tonya?
I don't know. It's a scientific term. It's just like it gets slack. So you've gotten rid of the elasticity in that dough. Not gotten rid of it, but just for your shaping purposes, it's like relaxed enough on you that you can cut it with your cutter and it won't shrink back into a smaller donut.
Okay.
Drooping. It's science.
So what kind of cutters do you use?
I have just my ring mold cutters. I picked a size that I liked for the donut. We'll add a little bit of flour on those so that the dough doesn't stick to them. Flour is your friend with this dough. So I make sure that it's well floured. Have my cutter. I'm going to punch that in. And see how it doesn't go anywhere. It's what you want. You can like punch it, and then your dough doesn't shrink on you.
What do you do with all the donut holes?
Eat those too. So you have 24 donuts and then however many donut holes you can punch out of this dough. And the great thing with this dough is that you can reuse it. So like after I punched it, I can just kind of shape it back into a ball and then let this proof one more time, and then you can keep going until you don't have any more dough. Nice. And it doesn't get tougher on you, which is great.
So sometimes I've come down here after work and Tanya's fried all the donut holes, and if you're lucky enough, she passes them out at the end of the night.
So when I'm letting these proof, I put them on like a lightly dusted tray. Just kind of set those there. Give them enough space because sometimes they do blow up pretty big. And then put these in a warm place, covered. But we're just gonna set that there.
Set that there.
So we have some that are almost ready. They're not quite where they want us, like where we want them to be, but you can see that they've grown compared to the other ones.
How big do you?
Absolutely.
How big do you want them to grow?
They will double. Like they get like a nice size, and then the size that you see them is usually the size that they'll fry up to be. But
okay,
a little bit longer. But
yeah, we can give them some time.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have enough time?
Right.
A few minutes.
Yes. You've still got. Yeah, you're good on time. Absolutely.
Excellent. Do you have any questions so far?
So you guys do these elevated snacks, which I absolutely love. I can make any meal out of snacks. Where did that come from? What determined the kind of food that you all wanted to do on your menu?
I think Tonya and I, as much as we really love fast casual food. I love being able, don't get me wrong, I love sitting at a dining room table and taking my time eating food. But I mean, when it's fast, it's easy. I think that's kind of the direction kids or young adults are going these days, is more fast casual, because people are on the go a lot these days, and it's easy. I want people to go to a bar and or a restaurant or something like us, a concession style stand, and get a snack, have a beer, and then move on with their day. It's not it's not something that you sit around for 2 or 3 hours. I mean, if you want to do that and order the whole menu, that's great too.
Just keep coming back to the window, right?
Fast casual, these are easy elevated snacks, like you said. But I don't know. It's just fun cooking this way, in my opinion. Like Tonya, we make this great noodle dish down here. I mean, it's fantastic, and I've seen Don noodles served at fancy restaurants, and I've seen them served through food truck windows. So it's just kind of how people perceive it. I mean, the concession stand idea it fit down here at the Burl, and it was really it was a no-brainer when we decided to do this down here.
And I'm gonna, while we're waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up your Facebook page.
Okay.
I was gonna pull up the Facebook page. There we go. So for people to find you, do they go here? Is this the best place for them to come to look at the menu?
We're very behind on the whole social media internet. So we just got Google approved. I don't know what that means. We're on Google now. So
okay.
You can also type in Google and Kismet Food in Lexington, and all our articles will pop up there, and kind of our menu and our hours and a couple food photos, and you can leave us reviews there. Yes, our Facebook page has been around for a while. We are hardly on that, and we're really bad at. We're trying on the social media aspect on Facebook, but we post as much as we can. But we just got on Google, so we're really happy about that.
Okay, yes. So just Google Kismet Food in Kentucky, right? Or and you can find that information. So everything's listed up on the Google information, the hours. Again, Wednesday through Sunday night. You open at 5,
Yes.
and then go till closing. And then I think it's a great addition down there, like you said, the fast casual. It's gonna fit in nicely with everything else that's going on down there.
Yeah, and it's fun too, and I think it's the idea of going to the arcade and eating a chili dog. It's nostalgic to me and Tonya. I mean, that it brings out the kid in me for sure.
And I think with the recent pandemic that we are able to keep a very safe distance. Our staff is able to keep a safe distance from everyone, and vice versa. Your only contact is paying and picking your food up. So like there's no server,
Right.
there's no middleman. So it's just like you come get your food and then you can go wherever you like on the campus or go home, like, and still keep your safe distance. So it's really,
That's
it's been
perfect.
too.
Right, and we're working on kind of a no contact payment to thing coming soon. So, yeah, all these things are being worked out every day. We're learning new things, and so adapting.
We are over here too, as you pivot and you think you have all the bugs worked out, we know for sure with these online demos every week, just when we think we have everything worked out, some new bug comes up. So we understand it takes a little while. Yeah. So are we ready for the next step?
Tonya, are we ready?
Yeah.
I think we're ready.
Okay.
All right. So we are proofed. I gotcha. Okay. And do you have your sugar? Okay, so Tanya's going to drop the donut in the fryer.
What temp is your fat right there to start frying?
350 degrees.
Okay.
These are a lot smaller than usual, but they're still going to taste great.
Yeah. That's it's just really important, that proofing process. You want it to proof double in size after it's cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Tonya, where's that cinnamon sugar? And then after you fry it, you want to get a little cinnamon sugar. We use a cup of sugar and about 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon after we toss the donuts. After they're fried, then we toss the donuts. Tonya, I just flipped these.
Okay.
So you fry, then you drain, then you toss in the cinnamon sugar?
Right, correct.
Okay.
Can you guys tell this is our first time doing a cooking demo on Zoom?
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. It's you look great. I'm sure there's a lot of details like going through your head because that's right. What happens with me too. And I'll find I get to the end and I'm like, well, I don't really remember anything I said, so I hope I covered what I wanted to. We do have a question. So if people are at home and they don't have a big deep fryer, what's the best way they can fry them at home?
Personally, at our house, we do frying, and I use a large stock pot, something similar to
I'm gonna be honest.
Uh-oh.
When I'm at home, and I've made donuts and Phil's not there, I get like a little, like something you would just warm soup in, just a small little saucepan, and
all
put
right.
a little one donut.
So
just big enough for one, right? Okay, so if you're just cooking for yourself, then you could use a sauce pot, or if you're making, like, say a dozen batch, then you can use like a stock pot or hefty stock pot with, something that you can heat up oil in.
She eats donuts while I'm not home. What is up with that?
We're revealing secrets today on the Food Connection demo. Okay, I'm going to go back to you guys.
I'm going to let your donut drain off from just the fat and let it dry off just a little bit, because some of that is going to help the sugar stick. So this is great, where it's not shining anymore, and it's hot. Is this the one I put cinnamon in?
Was that a tablespoon?
Yeah. I like cinnamon. So you're going to take your donut, dust it in some sugar.
Mm.
Do I get one too? Just
yeah, of course.
To make all the thing coming for me.
Here, should you hold this?
Yep. So I've got our donuts dusted in sugar.
We're just going to put a little whipped cream on that. The berries with a little bit of that juice. And then caramel. Where's your caramel?
Should be in there. Is that right there in the front?
And then,
ooh, it's all warm and melty.
just a little bit of caramel. Just a little bit. All right.
I already bit my donut. You didn't even dress mine.
I made the mistake of not eating before this demo, that's a deadly mistake. Especially at this point. That looks absolutely amazing.
And this, this is fun. This is $5 down here at Kismet. A little snack, listen to some live music, or play a video game, and then be on your way.
All right. That looks fabulous. Thank you guys so much. We encourage everyone to check out Kismet. Go Google it. Go on Facebook. You can find ours. We will be posting the recipe, like I said, sometime this afternoon or first thing tomorrow. And if you didn't catch the whole demo, it will be archived here and on our YouTube page. So people can come back and you guys can share it as well. And make sure to put your notifications on so that you're on time for all of our demos. We have 3 more left. We have Dr. Tim Phillips joining us next week for okra. Our very own Bethany, her graduating student, she didn't get to do her class. She's going to come in and do it. And finally, we'll have Chris Kane from Daughter Southern on the 17th. So everyone can join us. And Tonya and Philip, thank you so much. And we appreciate you joining us for this. We had a great time.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.